Hello.
Howdy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing great tonight. Doing great. Ready for some what looks to be a very, very complex scenario, and I'm sure there's a great story to go along with it.
There is. This is actually going to be one of Caesar's only defeats in battle.
Shut the front
So
door.
let's catch up with our good pal Julius Caesar. It's been 6 years since our last battle. So in this time, the battles we played over the summer in Brittany have occurred. So now Caesar's on his way back from his second campaign in Britain. And if you recall, that kind of ended more with a whimper than a bang. While Caesar was gone, the tribes in Gaul began to stir. Now, starting with the tribes in northern Gaul, there along the Rhine. And they began to revolt against the Roman forces there, who at this point were spread a bit thin. However, Caesar's return quickly crushed those rebellions. In the aftermath, Pompey raised 2 more legions and sent them to Gaul, while Caesar raised yet another, bringing his forces to about 25,000 men in the region. In 52 BC, when this battle will take place, Caesar is recalled to Rome to deal with some more political issues. And while he's gone, a tribal leader of the Averni tribe by the name of Vercingetorix organizes an alliance of Gallic tribes seeking their independence. And these tribes begin to attack the Romans in central Gaul. Once Caesar catches wind of this, he quickly returns to the region and in a forced march recaptures some of the territory that had fallen to these rebels, retaking 2 capital cities of these provinces and marching on a third. At this point, Caesar is trying to quell this rebellion before it spreads. So he's marching on the town of Averni, which is the capital of the Bataraches. Vercingetorix teams up with these guys, and they begin a scorched earth policy, trying to deny Caesar supplies. They burn over 20 towns on the road leading to the city. But this does not deter Caesar, and even with Vercingetorix harrying his forces, it takes Caesar only about a month to capture the city. And in the process, he slaughters over 40,000 locals. It's at this point that Vercingetorix realizes he can't really beat Caesar in open combat. And Caesar is still desperate to quell this rebellion because it's just making him look bad. He decides to take the capital of the Averni, which is the city of Gergovia, which is a hillside city. It's a city, in a good defensive position on top of a plateau. So he marches there with his 25,000 troops, and Vercingetorix shadows his march along the way, sort of playing tag with him as they're on opposite sides of a river. Vercingetorix is trying to destroy bridges before Caesar can cross them. So Caesar's trying to race ahead to get across the river. So they're playing this entire cat and mouse game, trying to get to the city first. Eventually, Vercingetorix decides that this isn't going to work. So he speeds up his forces and gets to the city before the Romans, giving him enough time to establish camps in the hills at the base of the plateau. So the city is being supplied with water and grain from the nearby lake. That area is protected by a Gallic fortification up on a hill, or where 2 garrisons are. Caesar realizes he's got to cut that supply line off to try and starve these guys out, because there's no way he's going to be able to take the city. So in the dead of night, he launches a raid and takes out those 2 garrisons, replacing them with his own troops, thus cutting off that supply line to the Gauls. He quickly reinforces the area, digging a trench from his camp in the central plains to those hills. Caesar's forces at this time are being supplied by their Gallic allies, the Aedui. But Vercingetorix has sort of bribed those guys for them to turn against the Romans. So instead of bringing him supplies, they turn against him and attack the Roman forces. So this divides Caesar's army. He leads most of the legions away to deal with that issue, leaving 2 legions behind at the city to try and keep the Gauls penned in. Caesar quickly quells the Aedui and brings them back into heel and forces them to send 10,000 mounted cavalry forces to join his siege. When Caesar returns, the Vercingetorix has really pressed those 2 legions very hard. They've erected a wall in the hills about 6 feet tall in front of their camp to protect them from the Roman advance. And I think that's what this line of broken ground is going to represent in our battle. And he takes his forces out into the hills to reinforce the hills to prevent Caesar from flanking him and attacking him from the sides, because Vercingetorix is a student of Roman tactics, and he's really trying to turn those tactics against Caesar, and is doing a good job of it. Caesar decides to attack, and he sends a small detachment out to the flank to make a lot of noise, almost a diversionary force, to sort of play into that idea that Vercingetorix has, that that's how Caesar's going to attack. Meanwhile, the bulk of his army sneaks up to the wall, scales it, and besieges the camp. And this goes great. They fall upon the forces beyond the wall and really put the sword to them. But then Caesar doesn't want to overextend himself, so he calls for a retreat. But only 1 legion, the 10th legion, gets the order and retreats. The remaining legions, feeling that they've been so successful in attacking these camps, press the attack and try to attack the city walls, which at this point they can't do. They're just getting pelted with arrows. In the meantime, Vercingetorix sees what's happening and sends his forces back in to attack now the exposed Roman flanks. On the other flank, the Aedui forces come in, and the Romans, not realizing that their allies, completely break. And at this point, the Gauls just fall upon them and start butchering the Romans. The Romans try to maintain, but at this point, they've lost over a quarter of their centurions, or their leadership. Caesar takes the 10th Legion and counterattacks, giving enough time to those retreating forces to retreat, and then quickly withdraws from battle. So this is a big defeat for Caesar. Now, in his own little chronicles, I remember most of our history of the Gallic Wars come from his own tellings, because there are no Gallic accounts of most of these battles. He claims he only lost about 700 men in this fight. But most historians now think the losses were probably 10 times that. He probably lost closer to like 6,000 men in this battle. So this is a big humiliation for Caesar. While all this is going on, he's losing political power back home, something I'm sure we'll touch on in the few weeks to come. But now Caesar's really going to find himself pinned between 2 very capable opponents, Vercingetorix here in Gaul, and then Pompey back home in Rome. So there you go. There's the stage set for Caesar's stunning defeat here at Gergovia. How is this battle going to play out, Patrick?
Well, 2 things did spring to mind when I first kind of looked at all of this. Was that 700 number that made me giggle a little bit. I was like, of course, that number had to come from Caesar himself, because there's just no way, based on the accounting of what we know about how this probably played out, that he was only going to lose 700 centurions. What a very specific number, and a very small number.
Well, 700 men total. He lost about a quarter of his centurions.
That's true.
About 42.
Right.
So I guess that would make about 130 centurions throughout the army.
Right. But
his senior leadership.
Yeah, it's like, how do you invoke a number without just sounding completely full of it? But he did, and that's what he wrote down. So I'm gonna trust in the modern scholarship that seems to say, well, that's probably a little bit of hooey. But yes, tonight, boy howdy, this will probably be, I think it's safe to say, this is the most complicated or complex scenario that we have played thus far. I have opened the War Council, and I will go through all of it. There are a ton of special rules, and just looking at the map itself, we've got no less than 4 terrain types at play here, and many of them have specific special rules in how they are going to work tonight. So let's go through it. War Council tonight, I will start with the Gallic army under Vercingetorix. I will get 5 command cards. Peter will start with the Roman army, and he will have Julius Caesar, of course, Hail Caesar, and he will also have 5 command cards. So we are on equal footing with command ability, but the Romans will get to move first. This is also indicating this is probably going to be a very long night. 8 banners, so for both games, that's, yeah, I have a feeling with the terrain and the way that you and I are going to dance a bit tonight, this could be quite an episode. So let's go through all the special rules for this. We have the 4 Gallic reinforcements up here with Vercingetorix. This is simulating that part of the story that talked about the attempted follow-up flanking attempt by Vercingetorix. With a play of any leadership card, so any leadership section, the Gauls can then appear on any one of these 5, so they can place the 4 units on any of the 5 spaces there from G1 to G5. However, that's it. They just get to go there. That is their turn. They can't do anything farther. But they may battle. So if they have range combat abilities, so those auxilia, they can throw things if there's something in range. Prior to the next Roman player turn, then he must take this medium unit that's down here, and it has to be placed in one of the baseline hexes here on the left flank. So any of one of the 5 there, that's where that has to be placed. And it is now part of the Roman army and can be activated as per usual, and can be ordered to move or battle. Like we had last week, we got the Julius Caesar rule, so he's going to give the extra die in combat, plus any unit he's attached to can move 2 hexes and still battle. And all of these legions tonight are Julian legions. They're like Marians plus auxilia with the 2 movement. We have camp hexes here on both sides. Now, for the Roman player to get victory points capturing these camp hexes up here with the warrior units in them, once the first one is captured, there's no victory points for that. However, that is a prerequisite, because then if he captures the second and or third one, each one of those is worth a permanent victory banner, and they are removed on the subsequent turn. So they have to be captured and held for a whole turn. The Romans, if they get up to the city wall hex here, as long as they have a unit on that wall hex, that is a temporary extra banner that they will hold. But as soon as that unit leaves that wall hex, then they lose the banners. These are all on a hill. You can see it's easy enough to do here in Vassal, but we've got both the camps and the wall hexes are on top of these hills. That will be important in a moment when we talk about them. And then the hill hexes here adjacent, all 4 of the hill hexes on each of the flanks that are adjacent to these woods hexes represent the very, very steep side slopes coming out of the forest. So no unit that is in those forests can go up onto any of those hills, nor can they battle in between the forest and the hillsides. However, units on the hillsides can move down into the forest without any impediment. So it's more for the folks on the lower side that's really kind of blocking them. So those hills become too steep and impassable for them to move up. The scalable wall rules, essentially it just means that for movement purposes, units use all of their movement to move onto a city wall, or if they're on a city wall, to leave the city wall. That's their whole movement, just one adjacent hex. And for combat, units attacking on or off the walls cap their dice at 2 dice. And for any unit that's being attacked on the wall, they get an inherent first strike capability. The defender will always roll first.
We also get to ignore a sword and a
sword
flag.
and a flag, yes, per rampart terrain type. So that is an interesting wrinkle for tonight, I think. Will the Romans even get that far? Maybe. If they are, then something's gone horribly, horribly wrong for the Gauls. Maybe. I will let you draw up your cards first.
This is going to be a great night. All right. 5 cards.
5 cards.
Well, that's an interesting hand.
All right, let's see if I get an interesting hand too. 3, 4, and 5. I have my 5 cards. Good luck to you, Roman sir.
Good luck. Goodness. Get out my terrain cheat sheet here too. Oof.
Yes, the one thing I didn't mention was the broken ground there. That is in fact representing the hasty walls that were put there in front. So that is, you just treat that as typical broken ground. It's really no effect to foot units, but mounted units do suffer. That might slow some of these. Roman cavalry down a bit.
Go full Julian and move 2 hexes. There's no foot restrictions moving through that broken ground. But we will be unable to attack. So we're done.
Interesting. Very interesting. I guess we'll do 2 in the center. And seeing those units appear on the base of the hill, we'll attack. So this auxilia here will attack down the hill at yours, at your medium unit. It will be capped at 3 dice down the hill. There we go, 3 dice. Ooh, hit.
I don't like that.
2 retreats.
I'll ignore the 1 retreat since I am supported, but I have to take the other one and I will fall back.
Okay. And I think now these guys can just throw 2 spears at those mediums there on the flank. So we'll try that. 2 dice. And get a hit and a retreat on them.
Again with you in these retreats.
And that is my turn.
All right. Capped at 2 dice going uphill with leader support. 1 hit.
1 hit. 3 dice back. A hit and 2 retreats. I have the high ground, Anakin.
Yes, you do. All right. Centurion Sextus here will lead the attack and attack that unit instead.
Okay.
So 2 dice there. Whiffed.
3 dice back. 2 hits.
Wow. I can see how this is going to go.
Here's a leader check for Sextus. He is okay.
These mediums here will follow up that attack on the same unit. 2 dice. There's 1 hit.
Hit. Okay. 3 dice back. Whew.
My goodness.
I don't think I've not gotten a triangle yet.
2 dice uphill there.
Hit. 3 back. Just a retreat.
Goodness.
I will activate medium troops. I think it will just be those 4 of 5. And 1, 2, 3. There. And come down off the hill. And them. So 4 dice. Got him. And attack here. So 4 dice there. And a hit. 2 retreats. Let's see the leader check. See if you got to take that second one. No. And they will stay there.
Ooh, these retreats just killing me.
They mess up your plans, don't they?
Yeah, they do. All right. Heavy war machine against Vercingetorix. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I got that Castlevania guy. So 2 dice.
Hit. Not my fresh horses.
Leader check. Same target with this war machine. 2 dice. Nothing.
Okay.
All right.
We'll do a move, fire, and move. Those 5. We'll move to there. And these guys will pelt. 2 dice. Nothing. These guys will also pelt. Nothing. Unless you'd like to take the retreat.
Not this time, no.
Okay. These guys will throw at them. Forcing 1 retreat. And
Where are you and these flags? It's uncanny.
And these light slingers against your lights from a distance. Sling away, boys. And they get a retreat. Okay. For the second part of that movement, there, yeah, we'll keep that. Okay.
These bowmen. Took back those auxilia up on the hill. 2 dice. Hey, I can do it too.
There you go. So 1, 2.
2 dice there. 1.
I like that card. So I will use that card. There's 5. And start here. What would they like to do?
I'll stand.
Right. Die like men. 3 dice. 1 hit. Ooh.
And fight like Romans.
Alright, we'll go back there. Okay, we will commence a Pelton from here. 2 dice on Sextus. And we get him. Here's 1 die for him. He's okay. these guys here. 2 dice. Nothing. And same target. Nothing. All right.
Those 3 units. 2 dice against those auxilia. Nothing. 4 dice against those warriors with leader support. 2.
Hits. We'll get 4 back. And 1 hit.
And 2 more big bolts at Castlevania. Nothing.
I think we will spring our trap here. And we'll put those there like that.
It's a trap.
And yes, so before we start your turn, you'll have to place yours. So,
yeah, in the left flank.
Yes, so we'll target 2 dice from the auxilia here.
I think they count as moving, though, don't they?
Yeah,
so
they did count as moving, yes, so just 1 die. And we get a flag. And no target for the other one, so that is all.
Wow. Throw a spear. Ooh.
Pew!
Arrows fly. And again. Huzzah! Stupid dice roller.
Wow, that whole time I was on mute. Damn, I had some really good battle cries. Vercingetorix will come forth and attack again. 3 dice, plus leader bonus. 3 hits.
On fire.
Oh!
There's all my flags for the entire game.
There you go. So 3 of them. I have to take 2 of them. I have to take, yeah, 2 of them. I can't take all 3, so... And they're a double. So that would be 4 hexes. So I'll take the 2. 1, 2. Alright. That is all.
Hacking those warriors with 4 dice.
Nope. 2 broken ground. 2 in or out of broken ground.
Yeah.
Well, we'll take that retreat.
Have we been doing that the entire time then?
I haven't attacked anything in there yet. Because it's just been missile fire and right up there at the base of the hill.
Right. 2 uphill.
Oh, got you one.
All right. Let's rev up the chainsaw. So normally 2 dice. With Caesar, gets to go up to 3. So 3 dice uphill with leader bonus. 2.
Hit. We'll give you 3 back down. 1 hit. Did we strike mighty Caesar? Oh, close. Well, I guess I better use that now. Okay. Let's try this one first with 4 dice against your lights. Oh, force retreat.
2 dice coming back then, since they are in desperate straits.
Nothing. Okay. Cassivillanus goes after your mediums here. 4 dice, leader bonus. 1 hit, 2 retreats. We'll advance, move 1, and engage Caesar. Yeah, we're gonna engage Caesar. Got the 4 dice, might as well. Waiting for a first strike. Okay, 4 dice, leader bonus. Ooh. Legion 10 falls. Here's a check for Caesar. Oh, the mighty Caesar falls. That is all. Yeah, I figured that was only a matter of time. Three back. Just a hit. Here's the leader check. Nothing. Yeah, 2. Hit. 3 back. Nothing. Two on the left. Okay. Start over here. What would they like to do?
I give you the satisfaction of wiping them out and then attacking again.
And that's right. All right, so 4 dice, green circles only. Got the green circle. Okay, and then over here, 3 dice. Looking for something. No, nothing. Yeah.
Should have been 4 dice, but does the job.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, good.
Three dice and leader support. 2.
2. 4 back. 2 and a retreat.
Try to finish him off. 1 hit, 2 retreats.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, do a double time here. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4. He'll go 1, 2, 2, 2. Against Sextus. 3 dice plus leader. 2. And gets him. Here's leader check. There we go.
Yeah, well done.
Well, thank you. Thank you. When you went, well, after Caesar fell, I was like, yeah, it's. Luckily, I managed to get rid of him before he caused some severe damage. Cause yeah, once he got up on those hills, I figured that was it. Okay, well
Good.
then, yeah, all right. Let's take 5 minutes. We'll come back. We'll swap sides. Back once again. After I paused the recording, I heard how Peter really felt. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, let's see if you and your magic banners can
Yes.
do right by Rome in this round.
Well, let's try. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Be wary of that Gallic flank maneuver. A trap. Let me see what I got here. Let us do leadership any section. And it will be those 4 units.
Right away, you're off to a better start than I was able to.
Let's see. All right. Let's see if we can't do some damage here. So 2 up the hill from those mediums. And we get 1 hit.
3 back down. Hey, flag.
Hey, right. Hit and retreat. Let's hope you don't roll 2 flags. All right, so we'll try that one.
True. The decision there being support my medium or give the buzzsaw a clear path up the hill.
That is true. That is true. So yeah, I'm going to support the medium. It's early yet. So
Okay.
Here's 2 dice up the hill. A hit.
I'll ignore it since I'm supported. Yeah, make it pay.
There you go. And I get 2 hits. Wow. Okay. And the Legio move 2, so they cannot battle. Back to you. I'm going to do 4 in the center. Those 4. Go 1, 2, 2, So Caesar's legion did move 2 and may still battle. So he will attack these up the hill with 2 dice. +1 for Caesar's 3 dice. I'm getting 2 hits.
And 2 hits in return.
Just 1.
Oh, right. But that's enough to roll 2 leader dice.
Oh, almost. And these mediums will go after the same with 2 dice uphill, but they get the leader bonus too. Getting nothing. Wow.
1 more hit.
And then these guys will also go up the hill with 2 dice to there and get 1 hit. And 1 back. Alright, 2 back. Well, that wipes them out.
Takes him off the hill.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. That is all.
Legio 10 moved 2 as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Okay. Well.
I'll do my heavy troops. Four units. This guy will take a shot at them. Nothing.
And it'd only be 1 die since I was in the forest.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, range combat. Yeah, okay. And then these guys.
But Castlevania does not have the same benefit.
So 2 dice to him. And nothing.
He'll ignore that.
All right.
So you didn't want to move Legio 10 or Caesar at all?
Nope. So we'll start with that. 3 dice again, uphill with Caesar or leader bonus. And force a retreat. One of them. They just go back 1.
I'm taking both.
Oh, you are taking both. Okay. Smart. Smart. Alright, we'll go up the hill and we'll attack these guys. 4 dice. Hill to hill. And we get them. And Legio 10, there's a hill intervening hex, unless both units are adjacent linked hill hexes. So Legio 10 will throw a spear. 1 spear. Nothing. All right.
So capped at 3, so 2 dice for the warriors battling out of the fortification.
Okay.
Onto Caesar.
Caesar is hit, maybe.
And leader check.
Okay. So 4 dice into them with the Caesar. Get a hit.
So I get to ignore 1 flag because of the fortification.
Okay. And
I'll go the other one since I'm at full strength. And I'll take 1 hit from the triangle. All right, and these are just a straight up 3 dice, hill to hill. Just 1.
Okay.
Leader check. Nothing.
4 back with Caesar. Wow.
Back to the camp.
You got to go straight back, and it's yeah.
Through the camp.
There you go. Make sure it's still there. That's bait. That is. All right. Do 3 in the center. 2 and 3. There. Caesar will attack first with 4 dice into the camp. Can ignore 1 sword, 1 flag, right?
Yep, so I'm taking 2 hits. And battling out with 2 dice.
Okay.
Nothing.
And then these guys will get 3 dice, hill to hill, with the leader bonus, and get the leader hit. And they will advance in. Okay. That is all.
Okay. 1 stone. 2 arrows. You'll get to ignore a flag. Of course. Gotta go for it. 3 dice against Caesar.
Ooh, they got him. Stupid blocks. Okay.
No, not Caesar.
Caesar falls back.
And 2 dice uphill. Hit.
And 3 back downhill. Retreat. This is a very thinky scenario for both of us, I can tell. We're trying to optimally make sure that we get units prepared for the next thing.
All right, so that eliminates that camp.
It does, but it's worth no points, so I will. All right, Caesar's there. They were in there. Okay. Okay, no afforded protections anymore. Okay. Yep. Activate medium troops. It's 5. Okay. This one first. 3 dice plus leader bonus. Got him. This one. 4 dice leader bonus. He will not advance. The others cannot battle because they move twice. So that is all.
After those mediums with 4 dice.
Ouch. Hit. I'll give you 4 back with leader bonus. And just 1. Oh, leader check. Ooh.
3 dice. Same unit.
4 back, leader bonus. 2 and a retreat. Do 3 on the left. Start with this one. 4 plus leader. Hit. 1 retreat. Go with the heavies down the hill. 3 plus leader. Oh,
Ooh.
Man, that was nice.
Oh.
Hello. Oh, bloodied our noses. Alright, and Sextus will attempt to finish. 4 dice leader bonus. Just barely. And he'll advance in and attack them. Same thing, 4 dice leader bonus. Right. That is all.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that. Three dice with leader bonus. Ooh.
Wow. So I get to ignore 1 flag. I take a hit. And then they cannot retreat, so they are eliminated, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That was lucky.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll take the rampart. Continue to press the attack. Gotta make up some banners.
We will evade that.
All right, 3 dice.
Hit.
Good evade.
Definitely evade that one.
Good evade. Well, no, you actually wouldn't have had to retreat from that. Okay. 4 dice on those mediums.
Making up some banners.
4 dice on those mediums. Take it.
Okay. 4 back with leader. 1 hit.
Ignore the retreat. 4 dice from those warriors. Just 1.
Oh, you didn't do the leader check on the last.
Oh, I did not.
So
1 more on the mediums, and then first the first leader check, and then the second.
okay, and then 4 back with leader. 2 hits.
Yay! I finally got a leadership card.
Yeah. Oh wow, really? Seems a waste to use this, but that's what I gotta do.
Double time.
Oops. Okay. So he'll do 5 dice there with leader bonus.
Well done, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. In my mind, when you were sitting there just knocking out the units, pew, 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 it was the it was the airplane fight from Raiders, man. You were taking it, and then all of a sudden you just started wailing on his face, man. That's what it felt like. I thought, oh my God, he just doubled his
If I had taken
banners.
Texas out, I would have felt a little bit better
Yeah.
about that.
Yep.
So,
Whew. This one is a
yeah,
13
did not
round.
get a leadership card until just now.
Oh man, that is. Yeah, I feel you.
So I had a bunch of those right flank cards. I was waiting to get that thing moving. Never got it. So.
Well, officially final score then. It's 8-2, 8-4. So I take the series tonight with 16-6. So that brings
That'll get you some banners.
10 banners closer. Yeah. I think last check it was like 66 ahead. So now it closes the gap a little bit, enough to make the spreadsheet change the color in the range from dark red to light red. So, what do you think? What are our final thoughts for this one? Aside from being shafted on the leadership card, all the dice going really hot for me tonight. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
Yeah, fine.
Well, let's take this another tack. Instead of the gameplay, what do we think of the scenario and what the potential of the scenario is? What do you like? What do you dislike? What are the moving parts?
There's a lot to think about. Trying to overcome that hump of getting across those rocks and not getting tied up down there. If I had the cards, I really thought about trying to bring the right flank into action. I mean, they've got leadership. They got a pair of warriors down there. All that stuff's just sitting on that back line going to waste. And there's a lot of space to cover.
It is. That's why that perplexed me as well, that right side, because it's almost better, should you get a leadership card, to spring that trap, and then all of a sudden you've got units there, but you had moved everybody out of the left flank. Now, I don't know if that was just because you were trying to force the center, or you just didn't care about somebody rushing in from that side.
Trying to force the center, trying to not give you targets for Vercingetorix when he popped on.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I was really going to try and...
That was the only reason I left Sextus there, was that flank guard, because I figured at some point he was coming in, and I didn't want you just rushing right for the camp, or worse, getting in behind Caesar. So I had to keep that left side protected somewhat. So I was loath to move them until you got units far enough ahead that I could do something with them. I agree. This is a lot of moving parts on this one. We are usually dealing with one or two individual pieces of terrain. I mean, as that one attack in and out of the camp even proved, you got multiple terrain types that have a cumulative effect on attacks and defense that you've got to be, I wasn't even thinking about it until I was like, oh my gosh, I'm next to this camp. How is that going to play out? So it was just a matter of, I needed to get Caesar up onto a hill, because when he's just down on the ground, he's not helping very much. So
the aftermath here is Caesar does retreat, takes his forces, heads back north. Vercingetorix gives chase, trying to wipe Caesar out. But Caesar, he's got some forces in the north that were dealing with some rebels up there. He links up with them, faces off against Vercingetorix in a pitched battle on open ground, and wins the day.
Yeah. I do remember that at the end of this battle, when Caesar first did his initial flight from the field, either the same day or the next day, he's like, yeah, come on back, come on, I'll give you some more. And Vercingetorix is like, no, thank you. We're fine. We're all fine here. So move along. And he could never get him to engage again. And then obviously that led to what you just mentioned there, with a subsequent attempt with flight and chase. So yeah, this was I didn't really know about this particular one. It's weird to hear about Caesar losing in the Gallic Wars, but lose the battle, win the war.
Outsmarted, really.
Really, yeah. Barbarian does not necessarily mean stupid, especially when they have been so involved and so interrelated with Rome for so long that they learn the battle tactics and codes
Well,
and
again, we say, we're calling them barbarians, but are they really? Or is it just, because they're not Roman? Again, who's writing the history here?
exactly right.
No.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed large pitched battle. We don't see 8 banner battles very often anymore, so it's always fun to have one.
Every time we have one of these things, and we always go, "Oh, this is going to take forever." It's always quick.
I think it's just because here we are, we're 75 episodes into this, and I think you and I just have the wherewithal to we kind of figure out what we're going to do. We have an initial plan, and then executing is really just dependent on if we get the series of cards that we want, and of course then all of that is dashed upon the rocks of forlorn hope when the dice go against us. I feel you, man. But do click that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this one. Put your comments in there, and if I've missed something in the editing, if I missed an error or something, point out that oversight to us. We'd be glad to make note of it, because, as we said, this one had a lot of moving parts tonight. So if we missed something terribly, then we could put an asterisk in it or something. I don't know. But great games as always, sir, and see you next week.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.